What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Ames Nation. This is gonna blow your mind. Are you terrified to face the chaos of war? The air crackled with tension. Dust, kicked up by mortar fire, stung the eyes and choked the lungs of the American soldiers. They were pinned down, taking cover wherever they could find it. The sharp, staccato rhythm of machine gun fire echoed across the ravaged landscape. Sergeant Miller, his face grimed with sweat and dirt, scanned the battlefield. His heart pounded against his ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the symphony of chaos. He knew his squad was in a precarious position. Their objective, a strategic hilltop, still frustratingly out of reach. Why are there not more people talking about the quiet strength of soldiers like Miller? Miller, a seasoned soldier from the backwoods of Kentucky, had always been known for his unwavering courage. His journey began in the quiet hills, where he learned the values of hard work and resilience. His bravery was not just a trait, but a way of life, deeply ingrained in his very being. He possessed a quiet strength that inspired confidence in those around him. His calm demeanor in the face of danger was a beacon of hope for his comrades. His men, a diverse group thrown together by the fortunes of war, came from different backgrounds and cultures, yet they found unity under his leadership. They looked up to him with a mixture of respect and affection, seeing in him the qualities of a true leader. Often, in the quiet moments, Miller thought of his family back home. Their faces, though blurred in his mind's eye, were a source of strength and motivation. His fiancée, Mary, with her infectious laugh, was a constant presence in his thoughts, a reminder of the life he was fighting to protect. And his aging parents, their faces etched with worry, were always in his heart, their love and concern a silent support. A surge of longing, sharp and painful, tore through him, a reminder of the sacrifices he was making. But he pushed it down, focusing on the task at hand, knowing that his duty was to his men and his mission. His resolve was unshakable, his courage a guiding light in the darkest of times. This is going to blow your mind. The enemy machine gun, a persistent threat, poured a relentless stream of bullets towards their position. The air was thick with the sound of gunfire, and the ground shook with each explosion. The soldiers could feel the weight of the enemy's firepower bearing down on them. It was positioned on a ridge flanking their advance, effectively cutting off any chance of retreat. The ridge provided the enemy with a strategic advantage, making it nearly impossible for Miller and his men to move forward without facing heavy casualties. Miller knew something had to be done, and fast. The lives of his men depended on it. He couldn't afford to hesitate. Every second counted. The weight of command pressed heavily on his shoulders. A plan, reckless but their only chance, formed in his mind. It was a long shot, but it was the only option they had. The risk was immense, but so was the potential reward. He called his men together, his voice firm despite the tremor running through him. He could see the fear in their eyes, but also the determination. They trusted him, and he couldn't let them down. He laid out his plan, a diversionary tactic that would draw the enemy fire, allowing his squad to flank the machine gun nest and take the hill. It was a dangerous maneuver, but it was their best shot at survival. He would be the bait. Miller knew the risks, but he was willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for his men. His bravery would give them a fighting chance. Are you afraid to face the ultimate sacrifice? His men protested, their faces etched with fear and concern. But Miller, his jaw set in a firm line, wouldn't hear of it. This was their only chance, and he was determined to see it through, even if it meant making the ultimate sacrifice. With a deep breath, Miller charged out from behind cover, his weapon blazing. He raced towards the enemy position, drawing their fire. Bullets ripped through the air around him, the sound deafening. He felt a searing pain in his side but kept running, his eyes fixed on the enemy emplacement. I bet you didn't know the story of Sergeant Miller. This is why you need to know his story. Miller's sacrifice had its intended effect. His actions were not in vain, as they provided the crucial momentum needed for his squad to push forward. His squad, spurred on by his courage, successfully neutralized the enemy machine gun nest. This act of bravery turned the tide of the battle, allowing them to gain a significant advantage. The hill, now secured, became a turning point in the battle. Yet, victory felt hollow. The cost of this triumph weighed heavily on the hearts of the soldiers. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by the sobs of grieving soldiers. The battlefield, once filled with the sounds of conflict, now echoed with the pain of loss. Sergeant Miller's bravery became a legend, his name whispered with reverence by all who served alongside him. His story was told and retold, inspiring countless others. He was a testament to the extraordinary courage that ordinary men can summon in the face of unimaginable circumstances. His actions reminded everyone of the true cost of freedom. He gave his life for his country, his sacrifice echoing through the annals of history. His legacy lived on, a beacon of hope and bravery for future generations.